हेलो। तो आज हम वीडियो थोड़ी सी अलग करेंगे, किसी कॉन्सेप्ट के ऊपर नहीं। तो आज हम ना सॉल्व करेंगे लीड कोड का क्वेश्चन। तो ये ना लीड कोड है, जिसको भी कोडिंग की प्रैक्टिस करनी हो, दिस इज़ अ रियली रियली गुड साइट। आई वुड हाईली रिकमेंड टू जस्ट यू कैन एनहांस योर skill, or if you already have the skill you can just brush up. And there are all sort of question from basic to advanced. Like you can see, there are different set of problems you can filter topic wise. There is also like paid subscription for this, but you really don't need to buy the subscription because many things are like free. Most of the questions are free. There are some company based questions like for Amazon and Facebook that you can find online also, so no, there is no need to spend so much on this. So without wasting time, so first of the thing that I want to tell you is this is daily challenge. Like this is monthly challenge. Every day you are given certain question. So you have to question, you have 24 hours, you have to come up with some solution and you have to implement it. So today we are this is October 1, so today will be the first question and so on, like 31 questions will be there. So daily we will be solving certain question. One thing that I want to say is that first of all you read the question and try to do it by yourself. If you are not able to do it, then you can take help from this video or any source of internet. Fine. So first of all, I will highly recommend you to pause the screen for a while, read this question, understand it, and try to implement it, or try to run and dry run it on your notebook. Then come to this solution. Fine. So let's just begin. So in this question, we are given a class by the name of reset counter. This is the constructor, and this is the function that we have to implement. Fine. So there are different details that we have to understand here. So first of all, the this is a you have to implement the function. You have a recent counter class which counts the number of recent requests within a certain time frame. So we have to implement this class and we have to implement this function ping. So what does this ping do? It adds a new request at time t, where t times represents some time in millisecond, and return the number of requests that has happened in the past 3000 milliseconds, including the new request. So what we basically do is, like, we can take this example only. So first of all, it what will do, it will reset the counter. So recent counter is nothing, just it is calling our constructor, nothing much about thing about that. So for first ping, when I will call this first ping, there is no entry here till now. So when I will call this first ping, so I will have only one entry. So I will have something in output, like in this output that I will be giving. So what we have to do is, are this ping function do? Ping function returns the count of what? It returns the number of requests that has happened in the past 3000 seconds. So for example, so we can say in the past 3000 milliseconds. So it will return the request that has happened in the past 3000 milliseconds. For example, right now we are at, like, I just entered the time 4500 milliseconds. Fine. So it will return me like the range will be of 3000. So 4500 minus 3000 will be 1500. So it will return me the count of request between this 1500 to my current value 5 to 4500. So in this the input that I have passed, so whatsoever value will be in this range, so the number of value that will lie in this range, I have to return the count of those values. So it is just a simple question. Fine. So there are different approaches to solve this question, but we will use the approach of linked list. So linked list, some people might know about STL and all. So STL are nothing else, just a standard template library. So like, there are different programming languages, like in Java, and in we have containers. In Python we have certain built-in function. So in the similar way, you don't have to implement everything by yourself. There are certain predefined libraries or inbuilt function that you can use. So here we will be using the language C++, and we will be implementing this. So what we have to do is, we will here you have to remember this thing: the inbuilt function for linked list is this list, and this is a doubly linked list. Fine. So if you want to know the functionality or different function, I will be covering up some uses of this int function here only, and telling you some like the functions that are included in this list. But just if you want to refer the documentation, or you want to actually implement the use, you can definitely go to the Geek for Geek site. It will give you more insight and detail how this function is implemented in different function. And just scroll down here, and these are the function, these are the different functions that are present in our list that you can do. Fine. So you can just go and refer to this if you want to more detail. But just for this question, we don't need like really great deep insight of this. So we will just declare our slide window. Fine. So why this sliding window? So this, there is some approach, like when I just told you about this. So whatever will be the input, for example, for the if value, what will be the window? Window means a particular frame, a particular range in which we are working. So here we know that this window will always be of 3000, like 3000 size. So what will be our range? Our range will always lie from like I minus 3000 to I. So this will be our window. Fine. So this will be our window. We have to work in this range only. So we can also implement this with the help of array, but in array we know that deletion and insertion take time, and we have to like shuffle the array and create space and all. So linked list are better approaches than array. So this is the advantage of linked list over arrays. So this is a constructor. So we will what we will do is just initialize the constructor sliding window, and it will be like new. We will be dynamically allocating it. So that in dynamic allocation, the memory is allocated in heap instead of stack. The static variables and all are declared in we use the help of stack, and this dynamic memory allocation, it takes place with the help of heap. So the heap memory does not get deallocated until the user manually deallocates it. So there is also something called as memory leak. So this is what that happens. Sometimes the user forgets to deallocate the memory, and it causes memory issues. So memory will leak out, like the memory will be overused because that memory is already allocated and the user had not freed that memory. So it can cause sometime an issue. So here it's just online site, so there won't be any such kind of issue. They already handles such thing. So what we will do is, whatever the value, this is the time, and the most important thing is that we want here is each test case will call ping with strictly increasing order. So as you can see here, the input that is being provided by the our program, it will always be in increasing order. So we don't need to worry about that the input will be. So we always know that the input that will come after will be greater than this. So what we can do is, just first of all, when we will get the input, we will do it sliding window. And what we will do, we will, as it is, we know that this is pointer, so we will use arrow instead of dot. So some people get confused when to use arrow and when to use dot. So when this is dynamically allocated, like this is pointer, then we will use arrow. If I have just declared like not star with like this, then it will be dot. So when we use this pointer, we have to use this arrow symbol. Fine. So we have to just push back. This is just similar syntax to vector, so it is, you don't have to remember it much. It is just similar to vector. So now what we have to do, we know that whatever the value we have till now, we have the range of particular value ith value minus 3000 to I. So we have range from I minus 3000 to I. So what we will do, we will traverse this entire our linked list, and we will like sliding window, and what we will do, we will traverse it till the entire size. So size is greater than 0. So till size is greater than 0, we will keep on traversing this, and we will try to implement and work our logic inside this loop. So what we will be doing is we took this input, so we don't need to because we know that this is already in increasing order. So first of all, I have this particular range. For example, this value is I. Suppose this value is I, and currently we are working on this. So what I will do is I will be pointing toward this one. Fine. So I will be checking whether this one lie, because it is a sliding window protocol. So I will be working toward in between ith and I minus 3000. So I will be checking that whether this value lie between or that range, that is I minus 3000 to I. So what I will be doing here is I will be like, if sliding window arrow front is for the first value, the uh, first value that is pointing to is greater than what, we know that our range lies between t, that is a particular input, minus 3000. If it is greater than this, so there is no need to hold this value, we can just simply drop this value. How can it be dropped? So we will just do a simple operation. You can see like the STL are so helpful because you don't have to like implement everything, you just need to know the functionality, and this is what gives you advantage in this. And if it is not like this, we can simply just break out of the loop. And at the end, what we have to return, because we have to return the count, and you just understand that if we have removed the unwanted part, the part that is no longer needed, because we know that the next value will be greater than 3002, because it is an increasing fashion. So definitely, if some this value does not lie in that 3000 range, and the next value will be suppose like 3500, so if this 100 does not lie in that 3000 range, so when 3500 will come, definitely we don't have any use of this. So removing this will not be any issue. So this is an advantage of that particular constraint that was provided to us, like in strictly increasing order. So at the end, what will be left? Like if we remove these things, there, so we are left with this 2. So we just and this 2, what is this? We will have only the element that are present in that particular sliding window, that particular range. So we just have to return that count. That's it. So what we will do it, we will return our sliding window arrow size. So let's hope we haven't done any kind of syntax error. And there is something we have missed, I guess. Something is there that I think I have missed. So I'm sorry, just this symbol was wrong. It should what it should not be greater than, it should be less than, because if this value, this 100 is less than our range, because the lower limit was this 1500, that is I minus 3000. So if it is less than that, then we will drop that value. So just let run it one again. The sample is fine, let's see, and it is accepted. So this was the simple solution. We just today learned this STL by the name of list, which is nothing but implementation of doubly linked list. It is an inbuilt function. So this is the approach we use, sliding window approach, and the constraint was like the input will always be provided in an strictly increasing order. So we don't need to maintain that the previous values. So if we remove them, if we pop them, there won't be any issue. Feel free to comment if there's something I have missed, and sorry for that. symbol I greater than sign. I just mistook it. So if you want to give any suggestion or there's something you have any doubt, feel free to comment. I will be really happy to understand. So if you like it, you can press the like button, or please do comment now if there is something that you want me to improve. So thank you very much.